Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm finally back to bring you all yet again another Arrow episode review right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly. Finally back to bring you all another Arrow episode review. But before I jump into this review, I want to let you guys know, stick around. I got some important announcements at the end of this video, so stick around. Now, jumping into the review, first and foremost, I want to go ahead and give you all my thoughts on the past two episodes that I missed. And that was episode 10, Burned, and then episode 11, Trust But Verify. Seen both of them, but I wasn't able to crank out reviews for them. So, first and foremost, both those episodes, I really liked it. With episode 10, Burned, especially, I like the way they adapted the character of Firefly. And I like the way that Oliver was struggling being the Hood after his encounter with the Dark Archer. So I like how they did both of those things. Also, I like how we finally got to see Oliver start to fend for himself on the island. So all of those things, positives. Now, last week's episode 11, Trust But Verify. That episode, I liked that we finally got Oliver and Dago butting heads, and it wasn't even so much that they were opposing each other. They were on the same page. It's just it was just a difference of handling the situation. You know, Dago wanted to give his former commanding officer the benefit of the doubt. Oliver didn't trust him, and so the way that whole trust issue went between those two characters, really liked it. And I actually think that both characters are better off having that situation, because now they have a better understanding about A, who each of them are, and B, what it is that they're actually trying to accomplish. So it seems like they're more along the lines of being on the same page now. So I thought that was pretty cool. Oh man, the cliffhanger from last week's episode with Yao Fei joining, that the mysterious bunch on the island, that tripped me the hell out. I was like, whoa. And then of course we also got all the stuff with Moira still going on, which it's just okay, the whole thing with Walter. Do I think Walter's still alive? Hard to say. Tommy's dad took the picture, but they could have taken that picture before they killed him. So I don't necessarily trust that Walter's all fine and dandy. But I'm pretty damn sure that it's only going to be a matter of time before Moira flips her shit and finally takes it to Tommy's dad and whoever else the other associates are. So yeah, that teapot's getting ready to blow. Now, we finally bring it all back to this week's episode 12, Vertigo. Thoughts? Good episode. Real good episode. I liked that. Well, okay, first and foremost, I like the new cop character that appeared in this week's episode. I actually like the actress. I'm a fan of hers from True Blood. So I liked seeing her in Arrow, and I liked how they kind of had the whole, the kind of, I guess you could call it, catching up that her and Oliver did. Now, based off of the end of the episode, I'm not sure if that's going to be a reoccurring character. I hope so. I like seeing her around, and it potentially opened up for maybe something could happen between her and Oliver. But then again, let's not forget Felicity. She's still around, and she actually opened up to Oliver about something, which I'll address towards the end of this review. What else did I like? I like the fact that we were dealing with a villain who wasn't necessarily, this kingpin of sorts. Granted, he was a powerful drug dealer, but he wasn't, the corporate type or anything like that. And I wouldn't even call him a professional so much as he's a drug dealer who found the next big thing and decided to cash in on it. So it was kind of a different take. And he was also a bit crazy, which I'm Well, we've had a few crazy villains in Arrow, but not too many of them. Not too many of them are really crazy. So that was a nice change of pace. Thea finally reconciled with her mom. I actually didn't think, well, to be honest, I didn't think the whole Thea Moira thing, I didn't think that was going to last all the way up until this episode. I'm surprised it lasted 2 episodes, but they finally reconciled. That was cool. Oliver couldn't use the bow in this week's episode. I mean, we saw him use it, a few times, but that final battle at the end, he had to go ahead and forego the bow, which was cool. Why? Because it allows for more hand-to-hand, which allows for more action. Quick question though, when Oliver infiltrated the juvenile center to go after the drug dealer, to go after the count, did anybody else in the staircase, the fight scenes, anybody else got the raid redemption? Anybody else got that feeling? I don't know. It could just be because I just saw that film for the first time this past weekend, and it was the same thing: infiltrate a big building to take down a drug dealer. So I got that vibe, and apparently that's also the plot behind Dread 3D. But anyway, is there anything else I'm missing that I wanted to talk about? Oh, okay. Well, this is just me wishful thinking. This is something I would like to see potentially later on in the series. But I like how the characters are starting to come together. And I don't mean come together as in... What I'm saying when I say they're starting to come together is, okay, take Thea for an example, right? Now, throughout this entire series, they've been hinting, with the nickname. Thea's nickname is Speedy. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe she'll, become Oliver's, sidekick at some point along the line. But there was no evidence to suggest that. Now, in this week's episode, we see her. Now she's having to do community service. And Laurel has been assigned as pretty much her mentor figure. So Thea's going to be in the office with Laurel for quite some time, and she's going to be seeing Laurel do her job and all that type of thing. So what I'm saying is Thea's now in the position where that sidekick transformation couldn't take place. Now I can kind of see that happening, and I'm hoping it would happen. Also, going back to the thing with Felicity, Oliver's been going to Felicity for technical support throughout the whole season, and in this episode, he admitted to himself, it's like, man, my stories, they're getting lame. Sooner or later, she's gonna figure this shit out. Well, why the hell not? She already confided in Oliver about some stuff. She's already trusting him with some information that she has. So I'm hoping it's just a matter of time before he lets her know, yo, I'm the hood. This is what's going on. I want you on as like full-time tech expert. I'm just waiting for that to happen. And if that would happen, we're still waiting for the whole Black Canary thing with Laurel to happen. I don't know how that's going to happen. Don't know when that's going to happen. Still waiting on that. But what I'm saying is, if all this shit comes about, we could have like a team, as Oliver, Diego, Laurel, Thea, Felicity. We could have a team, man. Just saying. Oh, and if Huntress comes back, come on, man. We could have a team, and it would be awesome. Oh, and then finally, the big cliffhanger for this week's episode was that now, since Felicity has given Oliver a copy of the book and said that Walter found it in the house and think it belonged to Moira, now Oliver has reason to suspect Moira. So now he has some sort of idea in his head that she's somehow connected to the book, to the list, and therefore connected to the Dark Archer, and then therefore connected to whoever's pulling the strings over this whole thing. So now that's on Oliver's mind, which is good. So yeah, all in all, like I said, this, just like the past 2 episodes, good episode. Like I said, I think the series is improving. I'm liking what they're doing with the stories. I'm liking the way that the flashbacks keep tying in. And that's another thing I want to talk about. I just want to mention, I like what's going on with the flashbacks, because there was for a minute, like, didn't know what was going on, and you wasn't sure, okay, well, like, what the fuck was going on with the flashbacks? I like what's going on with it, because for a minute you thought that maybe Oliver was just left on his own and it was going to be a survival story and stuff like that. But it's not so much a survival story anymore. It's more of a transformation story, because now with all the stuff that's going on with going on the island, now we're starting to see firsthand like why Oliver is the way he is now. It's one thing to just say, oh, shipwrecked, father died, had to survive on an island by himself. Yeah, traumatic experience will change your personality, but now we're starting to see how his personality is changing. And we're starting to see all these different incidents where Oliver would do one thing and then something would happen and then he would learn from it, and he kept that with him. So now we're starting to see how his personality and his mentality is transforming, which is good. That's what you want, especially if you're trying to tell an origin story. So they're doing a good job with that. All in all, Arrow's picking up. I'm liking it. Good shit. So that's going to wrap up this week's Arrow review. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts on the episode, series so far, so on and so forth. Now, let's get to these announcements. Okay, first announcement is I'm doing a 2-part Q&A video. Well, 2 Q&A videos. Technically it's 2. Anywho, but for any of you all who were following me back when I did the first Q&A is coming back. This weekend, I want to do a 2-parter. First part on Saturday, second part on Sunday. So what I need you guys to do is, in the comments below on this video, leave your questions for the Q&A. Second announcement, OAW is getting ready to start up a blog, and that's going to encompass the Otaku Assemble brand as well as the OAW Comics brand. So I will update you all when the blog is up. Chances are it will be up by the end of the weekend, so just in time for the last Q&A video. The blog will be up for then. But keep an eye out for that, because that's coming later this weekend. And of course, the last update, it's always the update. Totems issue 1 now on sale, now across multiple digital formats. Nook, Kindle, Ibookstore, and Kobo, also on graphically.com and on Graphically's Facebook app. $3.99. Check it out. Yeah, and that's it. Links will be in the description box below for Totem, so check it out. And I want to take this time to thank all of my fellow YouTubers for the kick-ass reviews. If you guys haven't had a chance to check those out, just YouTube search Totem's #1 review to check those out. Anywho, what to keep an eye out for later this week. Today is Wednesday. This week's discussion of the week will hopefully be out on Friday. I think I'll do it on Friday, yeah. If not tomorrow, then Friday. And then the Q&As, Saturday and Sunday. So, keep an eye out for those. With that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and until next time, peace.